it's Rachel with Theodore, and today he and I are going to be practicing, starting off on stays with separation. Now, this is kind of an upper level thing, but Theodore is a pro at everything that we've thrown at him so far, so I think he's definitely ready for this next step. Now, stays with separation is really good prep, especially if you are ever considering getting Theodore therapy dog certified. He is super mellow, super sweet, and I don't know who wouldn't love him, so I think that he would be a great candidate if that's ever something you're interested in. A stay with separation is part of the requirement for therapy dog testing. Now what that is you would put Theodore in a sit or a down in a room, tell him to stay, and you would leave that room, but he would still be supervised. Now, how I'm going to do this here is I already have Theodore on our long training leash, so I'll put him in a sit and get out of sight, but still have him on the leash. I'm just going to be hiding around the corner, and then that way I'll be able to check on Theodore, kind of poke my head around the corner so I can correct him in case he gets up out of his stay. And, oh, Theodore, come here. And I won't be too far off. We're going to start out slow with this because I know Theodore's good when we walk away, whether back away or turn and walk away. He's good with duration and distractions and all of that, but separation is kind of a new thing. So we want to do baby steps with him and work up to it in case it's something that challenges him. Another thing this is useful for if you ever have to pack stuff up and you need Theodore out of your way, say you're moving furniture in and out and you need the house or the car door open, the gate open, anything like that, or if you're loading up the car to go somewhere, unloading groceries. To get Theodore out of the way, you can tell him to sit and stay, and that way you can go between the house and the car or wherever you need to go. And you can be confident that even when you're out of the room, Theodore will remain in his stay. So it's a really good thing to practice if you aren't interested in pursuing the therapy dog route with him. So, first I'm going to start him off in a sit because it's the most easily corrected. I know he's really good at it and really quick with it. So if I see that he gets out of his sit, when I poke my head around from the corner where I'll be hiding, I can tell him to sit, and hopefully that's a command that he'll be able to do at a distance. You can usually do down stays for longer periods of time because downs are more comfortable for the dogs and they're less likely to get up out of their down. But like I said, sit is most easily corrected, so we'll start with that. And I'm just going to start off with a few seconds out of sight at a time and then come back and release him. So Theodore, come here. Good boy. Theodore, sit. Good, sit. Theodore, stay. Sit. Stay. Alright, he's watching me. I'm glad to see that good attention. Now I'm going to go back and I'll be off camera for a while, but I won't be out of sight until the very last couple of seconds. And I'll only disappear for a little bit and then I'll come back in sight with Theodore. Now I know he can handle this distance until I do get out of sight because we have practiced with this distance a lot before. So right before I leave, I'm going to give him one more reminder. Theodore, stay. Theodore, good stay, good boy. All right, he did perfectly there. We got lots of good duration on that stay. By the time I actually got around the corner of the building, I was out of sight for about 5 seconds, and he seemed to do just fine. So I'm going to do that again, and this time stay out for longer. Now, he got up there, but that's okay because I'd already released him and rewarded him for his stay. So I'm not holding him to that, but now I need to get his attention and get him back in a sit. So Theodore, come here. Theodore. What? Theodore, sit. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. Sit. Stay. Stay.
Theodore, good boy. Good stay.
All right, again, that was absolutely excellent. He did a great job. Now, I have the camera set up in the back of our Sprinter van that we use for pickups and drop-offs. So the first time that I did it, the door was in his way, so my body was at least out of sight long before. This time I had Theodore more towards the side so he could see exactly where I was going. When I would peek around occasionally at him, I noticed that he was still staring in that direction and had his ears up. So that's good that he was able to see where I was, see where I went, and was still had his attention in that area. Overall, I was back behind the wall for, maybe 20 to 30 seconds. In that time, I peeked out a couple times at him and we made eye contact, so he knew that I hadn't completely abandoned him. Now, it's important with the stays with separation, you don't do it for too long at a time. Even though Theodore can do stays for several minutes, you don't want to do that with the separation at first, because it's possible he'll forget what you asked him to do, or he'll think that you completely left and think there's no reason to stay. So that's why I'd peek out a little bit, and just so that he knew I was there and hadn't completely left him, and he did a really great job. So now we're going to do down stays since we've done the sit stay. Theodore, come here. Down. Down. Good, down. Stay.
Good stay, Theodore. Good stay. Very good stay.
All right, again, he was absolutely great with that. I was back there for more than 30 seconds. I poked my head around the corner about every 10 seconds, and we made eye contact, so I knew that he saw me. And I could tell, by how he pricked his ears that he recognized me through there. So he knows that I didn't leave him, and we're able to get some pretty good duration with me out of sight. So that's good to see. That's more duration than we normally get with dogs, so the first time we do stay with separation. So that's really great to see. I think he could already pass this section of the therapy dog test. if that's something you guys would ever want to do. But in the meantime, we're just going to keep working for it and maybe expose him to different distractions while I'm out of sight. And also for some longer duration, so that if you do need to have the door or the gate open, anything like that, and be going in and out, moving stuff, or anything in that kind of situation that you know Theodore will stay even with you leaving for longer periods of time. Overall, he did an absolutely perfect job, so we can amp it up next time and challenge him a bit more. This was Rachel and Theodore, and we were doing stays with separation.